knows how to hunt. I know how to survive.
All right, we're trying this one more time. Ooh, okay. So, that don't look good.
What doesn't look good? Me?
No. You look awesome.
Thank you, sir.
No, it's my slideshow looks like hot garbage.
In what way?
It just.
Sorry, apologize for the coughing. Let me mute that for a second.
No, it's okay. So it's weird. See, now it's fine. I don't get it. I apologize to everyone. This is a brand new computer. And I know, excuses.
Hey, it doesn't matter if it's a bumpy road. What's important is that we're back, baby.
We're back, baby.
Back. I think I really have the feeling that the COVID years. I mean, we're not out of either. I mean, let's not get political or anything. All I'm going to say is that, yeah, the whole crisis is over, but we're still in the depths of a pandemic. It's still killing people more than is comfortable for me. Coming from a human angle. But I think that the real severe period of COVID where everybody was like locked down, as much as they could, I think it got to all of us a bit. And Joey and I just kind of like, without saying so, just kind of took a break.
That's exactly what we did.
Yeah, and I mean, in our show, we're not like, we don't have like a fan base that follow, we don't, we're not like YouTube personalities or anything, so we don't have to post videos of like, hey, sorry we haven't been around, that's not our gig.
That's not how we roll, man.
Yeah. We don't do anything that's actually, financially useful.
We don't make any money doing this shit.
Yeah, it's for fun.
We've been saying that forever. We don't make money doing this.
Yeah, and we don't care about it. All we care about is just sharing our opinion with people that didn't ask for it. It's what America's about now. I also for a little while it's been a while since I actually used my natural background. I've been using those blurry things, but
been a while.
But I just wanted to bring it up because I like my background, and also I was going to use for one of them the detective board from the Black Phone.
From Black Phone, yeah.
And as I had it up, I realized, that just looks like my background because I have a detective board behind me for the Hunt a Killer game that I play that we're not getting money from to promote. I'm just mentioning it because I like it.
Yeah.
I'm a little behind, as you can see by the stack of boxes there. And this is my nonfiction section of my library.
Right. Yeah, so I apologize for the technical difficulties. I will work on it for next week for sure.
Well, Joey, because Joey has a new desktop. Everything's new.
I do have a new desktop. Yep. So
we're trying to, we're doing a new format. We're trying to keep the shows under half an hour, and we're already at a horrible start.
Oh my God, we're doing terrible.
Yes.
We are back. We are doing Halloween films. We are doing this for the month of October. We're going to try and do more than one every week. We'll see how long that lasts.
Right.
I'm already tired.
Yeah. So we're going to try to lose the in-depth analysis which is us going off on tangents that have nothing to do with the movie, and really try to focus on talking about the film.
Yeah. So this week, we're right now, tonight, this week.
Right now, tonight.
Right now, this week, tonight.
Whenever you watch this.
Whenever it is, we are reviewing the 2022 film Prey.
Right.
Now, this film takes place 200 years ago. And I really liked that, A, it took place 200 years ago. B, the Predator looks a little different. Because much like us as humans, it is evolving too. So you could see that there is this progression of evolvement, specifically not even just how it hunts, but how it acts, how it
The
looks.
design of the costume. Sorry, like the design of like the armor.
Yeah,
The
you can tell
uniform.
that it's not as advanced. It's still advanced, but it's not as advanced as what you see in the 1987 film Predator with Schwarzenegger, because the armor and everything, like it looks like he's wearing a bone skull from something it killed recently. You know, that's what it looks like it's wearing for a helmet, is a skull of another being.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Although I don't think it's actual bone, because it does seem to have a stronger property than that. But it's sculpted in that fashion. Yes.
true, but then we also don't know what it could have potentially killed. I mean, the skull of whatever it was could be extremely strong.
I
All I'm
don't
saying
start
is,
speculating.
all I'm saying is, 200 years ago, it isn't just an indigenous people, such as this Indian tribe on these lands that it arrives at. That is also, kind of like a way back machine.
I'm more than certain that somebody out there on the internet has posited or even proven that that skull cap could have been sculpted from an alien shell, because we know how indestructible those are. So,
Oh, okay.
I will give you that is a possibility.
Oh, well,
So
thank you.
yes,
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing, Alien,
that's how much I like the film. I'm not going to argue about that.
Alien versus Predator, and all that. And that goes all the way back to, I believe, the first appearance was in the 1990 sequel, Predator 2, when the alien is cleaning a fresh kill, which is a human skull, boiling it and all that stuff and putting it with its trophy. And you could see in the far distance an alien skull that it has killed. And like,
and that was kind of a. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on.
Oh, no. And just the fans just went nuts. They were like, oh, these two franchises, if they collide, how cool would that be?
Well, that's because the franchises already had collided in comic book form. When this film came out, there had already been the Aliens versus Predator comic book, I believe, under Dark Horse Comics. If it didn't start there, that's where it ended up.
You mean when the 1990 film?
Driver.
You mean when the 1990 film came out, the comics were already in motion?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because a lot of people saw that as a nod to the comic book, that yes, this is where we're taking the series. And then, unfortunately, they did twice. I did. Both times they fucked it up.
Well, I remember the first one, which, ironically, is the better of the two. Because I remember when the second one, what was that? Alien vs. Predator Requiem? Mm-hmm. So, do you remember those two directors?
I was just telling this story to somebody at work this week.
Oh my god! So those two directors, like, listen, we know they almost verbatim, like, we know they messed up that first movie. We're not doing that. Our movie is going to be great.
It never happened.
And it was actually worse.
Yeah, or we saw the mistakes they made. We're not going to do any of that. This is going to be something the fans are going to love. And then they just went and just fucking shit everywhere. Man, it was almost as bad as the second Resident Alien. And Resident
Evil.
Shit, Resident Evil. And the only reason I say it's almost as bad as the second Resident Evil is because that's when I fucking stopped. And someday I will complete the series. I have the complete series on my Plex for my mother. That is the only reason it is there, and that I'm a completionist too. But yeah, I mean, that's how bad it was.
I'm gonna admit to you right now, and everyone listening, I haven't watched past the second Resident Evil either.
Although I did watch the new one, and we talked briefly about that. I think I don't know if it was on a show or not.
It wasn't. It wasn't. It was.
Maybe we should try to do a quick review of that if you've already seen it. Have you?
I haven't.
You haven't? All right. Well,
no,
we're definitely
we could throw that in
this month. What?
We could throw that in.
Yeah,
we're going to try and review a whole bunch of movies this month. Yeah. So we're going to see what we can do. But back,
I'm throwing out requests too, because I'm trying to watch as many films I've never watched before.
Right.
But this year, since we're trying to review more and just do smaller ones, and I'm feeling a little antsy this October, and I feel like I have to get back in the holiday spirit, and this is going to help. So I just to keep it light on Joey, so he's not hurt by my mania. We're going to try to do some films that we've already seen, but it's never reviewed in the past. But at the same time, I have a personal goal of watching a lot of unwatched horror films. I need to catch up. I've got way too many.
Right.
I'll give you a number before the show's over.
Okay.
But
back to Prey. Back to
Prey. I want to throw in real quick spoilers. I really want to stress that because this was a really good film. I enjoyed it a lot, and I don't know if I was surprised, but I feel like I do want to say spoilers. I really don't want to ruin this film for anybody. So if you're concerned about that, don't listen.
Right.
I think most people are smart enough where they don't listen to idiots like us unless they've already watched the film.
Yeah, I think a lot of times, yeah.
But I only say it when I really mean it, and I really mean it here. Like if I was talking to somebody about this, I wouldn't mention certain
Of course.
things.
The film was directed by Dan Trachtenberg. I believe that's how you pronounce it. He's the guy that did 10 Cloverfield Lane, which was also really good.
Sorry about again. Apologies.
It's okay. Yeah, he did 10 Cloverfield Lane, which I really enjoyed, and it's more of an isolation film, where it's John Goodman, it's Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I forget the other actor.
I like to call them locked room movies.
Okay.
I'm throwing it out there. That's what I have a whole category in my Plex for locked room movies. This is definitely on that list. Also, underground.
Got it.
It's its own category.
Yeah, so he was able to take an idea of 3 people, in a basement or a bomb shelter, and make it into a movie and make it entertaining. So the guy knows what he's doing. He knows his pacing. He knows his story. He knows his plot structure. When I saw that he was directing this film, I was confident that it was going to be good. And then, of course, pre-screenings and everything, came out, and like, holy shit, across the board. And this was one of those movies that went straight to Hulu. And they actually had a few articles written about why they made that decision. And they made that decision because Netflix and Disney Plus and Amazon Prime, they make these huge, big budgeted films, and they put them directly on their streaming service to get subscriptions and to get people, into subscribing to their service and wanting to watch my content on on your service exclusively. So
there's been a lot of press coverage about, like, for example, Disney Plus with the Black Widow, that whole thing where they're more concerned about getting more subscribers on these channels than they are making any money at the box office anymore, because that no longer is their main revenue.
Well, there was also a lawsuit that happened because of that. Scarlett Johansson, she was doing with a lot of what the Marvel comic book action stars were doing. They weren't getting a salary; they were getting a back end. So they would get like 1, 2, 3, whatever percentage they figured out for their contract of what the film made.
Box office returns.
Yeah.
Which doesn't,
or also commonly known as the back end.
Right. No. I'm saying for layman, box office returns.
Oh, right.
Sorry.
So because the movie went straight to streaming, I know. The movie went straight to streaming, but also went theatrically, it did not make as much money as it could have.
It hurt her revenue. And
it did. And she did not know that they were going to do that, and I don't believe it's stipulated anywhere in the contract, and she won that lawsuit. And that's why Disney stopped doing the streaming and theater release simultaneously.
Yeah, I mean, they really lucked out since they'd already killed her character off in that universe to begin with.
Right.
So they weren't really losing out on any plans ahead. I mean, they might have been planning to do more with her, but it didn't hurt them if they didn't now.
Now that they have the multiverse, the Doctor Strange multiverse stuff, they could do whatever they want.
Again, and that's why they did that. So they're not latched onto these fucking crazy actors anymore. And they don't have to worry about bringing Don Cheadle in last second because what's his name went fucking psycho.
Oh, yeah, it was...
in Iron Man.
No, I know. I'm trying to remember his name.
Have you seen some of the video? I don't want to get sidetracked, but yeah, you got to look at... If you haven't seen the videos on YouTube where he's trying to explain shit that he believes in...
Oh, God. Really?
No, he actually went insane. Yeah, this is crazy. This is what he likes. Yeah, I'm not going to say anymore. Just look it up on YouTube. Fucking funny.
What was it?
I stumbled on
Terrence,
it. I forget
is
how.
it Terrence Howard? Terrence Howard.
I don't.
It just hit me. I think it's Terrence Howard.
Ever since I saw those videos, all I think of is the crazy guy from Iron Man. So that's it. That's sad, but it's true.
Yeah.
So Prey. I want to say, and this like, I don't want. I can't talk about the title yet because I don't want to really get to the ending yet. But it opens up. We're dealing with the Native Americans, and they pull a Hunt for Red October on us.
Oh.
They speak a couple of lines of Cheyenne, right? Cherokee, Cheyenne.
Yeah.
I think it's the Cheyenne Nation.
I think so.
I'm honestly trying to get it right.
I don't know.
Being an asshole.
I'm not. I honestly, I couldn't tell you. I don't remember.
Okay, all right. I'm honestly trying to get it right. I obviously don't care enough to actually look it up right now because I'm an ass, but I'm not that big of an ass where I'm trying to be a dick. I think it's the Cheyenne because I think at the end I had to think about the Cheyenne. I really think it's impressive that everybody's been praising it for using indigenous people, like actual Cheyenne.
Oh yeah.
Ancestors, tribal people, to keep it unique. And I'm sure they tried to make it historically accurate as far as the clothing and rituals and stuff. Otherwise, we already would have heard a lot of shit about it.
I'll tell you what, the only thing that they didn't do accurately, and honestly, I'm happy that they decided to go in this direction. It's not entirely a subtitle film because it would have been. Because they had French settlers as well. And then
the version I saw didn't have any subtitles.
Oh, sorry to say.
I've been doing that a lot lately, and I don't mind.
I'm not on board.
So,
not on board with that. I need to know what the fuck they're saying.
But I know what's going on.
No, you don't.
For when I'm immersing myself in like a foreign, I'm already sacrificing the thing where they decided to go with English instead of subtitles.
Right.
I'm all for that. But it really immerses me in the idea of being. When she's in that cage and they're talking in French, those dirty French Canadians, it's like I appreciate the fact that I'm in the same shoes as her and I don't know what's happening. I have to read it based on the actors' portrayals. To me, it makes it much more realistic.
No, I don't care.
I'm not arguing against you.
No, I know you're not.
I appreciate your side.
But
anyway, your point about the subtitles.
No, it's just that there's English, there's Cheyenne. And then there's French, and it's all tied in, and it's believable, and it's really good. So, I mean, even though they're speaking English, obviously you're going to reach a more broader audience if the film wasn't completely subtitled. I mean, it's 200 years ago, so realistically, that's what it would be. But
that's the only thing about the film I don't like, really. But I appreciate the decision they made, and I appreciate the artistic people wanting to reach a wider audience. I appreciate all of that. I would have preferred it fully subtitled myself. That's just me.
Oh, I mean, me too. I'm not afraid of subtitles like most people are.
But I like how they handled it, and with or without the subtitles with it, I think it works.
I do.
Now, what's the historically inaccurate thing you were going to say, though?
Is that that they're speaking English? That as far as it being historically inaccurate.
Decision, though. I
know that. I know. Well, and that's why I went in that direction.
Yeah, if the Hunt for Red October thing.
Yeah, if you want to criticize the film for not being historically accurate, the only thing is that they speak English. That's it.
And if you've never seen the Hunt for Red October, don't ask me what that is. Go watch the Hunt for Red October. It's not a bad film.
No,
get some fucking history behind you.
I enjoyed that one too.
Now, I don't frequent the incel chat rooms, so I don't know what the hot vibe is on this. I only know the ones that really hit the big news, like the people that got freaked out when they had a black
Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid, and so then of course the white nationalists jump out of the woodwork. So I hear about those because it makes national headlines. So I don't know if there was any flack about this film because it's a female hero, so it's woke, quote unquote. So I don't know if it got any feedback from that.
I don't think so.
Well, but the other reason I bring that up is because I don't know if there was any any of those same groups that might have come out and complained, hey, hey, of course, why'd you throw the subplot in about the white man coming in and being horrible people? It's like, well, because it's historically accurate, and
Yeah.
I guarantee, and I dare you to show me any aspect of this film other than the Predator that is not historically accurate,
Yeah.
to at least a certain degree. It may not be the same names and stuff, but tell me that there weren't these kind of atrocities performed on the indigenous people as we slowly destroy their entire fucking culture. It's like, don't debate this shit. Don't be an asshole.
Yeah, I don't, I don't, I think The Little Mermaid took up a lot of their time. So I think they kind of left this one alone.
I didn't get a chance to do memes because I have a couple in mind for the movies we watch for the slideshow. But one I want to do is when the French Canadians first show up, and I just wanted to have the top, "Hello America, welcome, hello America. Let me introduce the white man." Because it was just like a perfect cap with the guns and the guy smoking and chewing the cigar. I love the whole objective correlative. I'm gonna risk it and call it that, of the cigar. When she first picks it up in the movie, I thought it was like a powdered shell or something.
I thought it was actually a finger real quick.
I thought it was like a powder casing. I couldn't get a good look at it. But then and Holly said cigar, I was like, it could have been. And then later when they showed the guy that has the cigar.
Yeah.
And I like how we immediately associate cigar with just fucking evil.
Yeah.
And not evil, worse than the Predator. We'll talk about that, obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah. But I just wanted I got sidetracked with anything I just said.
Well, we were talking about historically accurate, and we were talking about subtitles and...
Yeah, and again, appreciating having the true actor. Honestly, I'm not woke enough where if they had done the film with white actors that I actually would have been personally upset. I would have understood the outrage from it, but it wouldn't have prevented me from watching the film or enjoying it. So,
Right.
But I'm glad they took the extra step.
Of course.
Yeah.
And
I'm woke, but I'm not like actively woke. I'm a passive woke.
Okay.
I like it when the good thing happens, but I really don't have enough skin in the game to do anything about it other than vote.
Well, gotcha. So back to the film. I mean, as far as the look of the film, the cinematography, this is a very beautiful film too.
A lot of long shots, a lot of postcard shots. There's a lot of long shots of the actors or aliens or whoever, as very small in the background. I actually, after watching this film, I just had the sudden urge to go out to yard sales and buy pick like that kind of thing,
Right.
and like paint in the little section in any of these like rural landscapes, like the phased out predator holding up the dead dog head. And it's just like that sudden urge, like yes, I want to put this on old paintings, like they got it to Star Wars on stuff. But yeah, no, beautifully shot, and as with any film where you're dealing with foreign languages, even when they're transferring to English, the film knows how to communicate a lot.
Yeah.
Here's something I didn't catch at first. So we have this whole thing. The major struggle, again, we mentioned the female lead. She looks a lot like the one chick from Parks and Rec.
Oh yeah, Aubrey.
Yeah,
Aubrey.
Aubrey something. Yeah, she has a movie.
Aubrey Plaza. Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah, Emily. What is it? The movie that I want to see is Emily the criminal.
Yes,
Emily
I
the
haven't
Criminal.
heard of that one. She did another one called like the Blackburn or the Black Lake or something like that.
Oh.
More art house. But this whole movie could be her daydreaming of herself in a Parks and Rec episode. I swear it looks just like her. But anyway, yeah. So what I like about it too is she's a female lead, and yes, we have that cliche. The girl wants to be a hunter, but the males won't let her, which is accurate, historically accurate. No one's arguing that. But what I like about it is that like the mother's not a dick about it, the brother's not a dick about it. You have some guys being dicks because guys are dicks.
Right.
But it's not like everybody's being cruel to her and maliceful. The mother's like, yeah, it's dangerous out there, and the brother's like, hey, I am better than you, and I really am concerned about you, and I don't want you out here. Yeah, again, there's some assholes, but for the most part, she has support. They just don't want her to be doing what she really wants to do, is to go out and kill things.
Well, yeah, because in the film,
Yeah.
she's getting woken up every day to get a basket to go forage for food, with the crops, and then she looks over at her brother, who's a warrior and a hunter, and he gets to sleep in, and that's obviously not why she wants to do it. She wants to do it because she wants to hunt. She doesn't want to be labeled. It's like, because I'm a woman, I can't hunt, which is what's happening.
But that's not like what I like is it's not heavy-handed, and that's not the main drive. I mean, yes, that's one of the reasons why she's not allowed to hunt, but there's more to it. Her father was a hunter. I'm assuming he died, somehow that wasn't nice. He wasn't the chief, right? I'm not reading anything wrong.
No, he wasn't the chief.
Yeah, so I'm assuming the father's gone and dead. She said he left it to you because he wanted you to cut breadfruit with it, which just reminded me of Archer. But it wasn't heavy-handed. I like there's a feminist angle to it. That is gonna upset your average incel. It's true, you can't avoid that, but it's never at a point where it feels like an '80s movie. Oh my God, we're just really bad at like that kind of storytelling in the '80s.
Very much so. Agree. Oh, of course, I agree.
And I think it handles the introduction of the white man just as well. I mean, at first it didn't even occur to me, and I turned to Holly at one point and said, I'm really bad at history. I don't really know numbers. I just know that, a white man fucked up America, but are they there now?
Yeah.
I think, and she's like, yeah, probably French Canadian. Says, oh, okay. Yeah, I have some relatives that were French Canadian. Yeah, I'm the bad guy in this. Yep. Or somebody I know, somebody that I probably have blood in this game. So yeah, I'm up for this, and I don't think that was misrepresented at all. I like how they handled it. And again, some people will claim it's heavy-handed. I think it's right on the nose.
No, I agree. Definitely.
I'm going to ramble more if you don't have any. If you have, I don't want to step on you. So you take
over. No, well, I'm not going to take over. But as far as moving the plot along, she sees, while she's out hunting with her dog, she sees something in the distance. She sees like a deer, and she goes after the deer, and then she sees something. Oh, and that's the other thing too. As far as talking about technology with the Predator, its invisibility cloak isn't perfect. It almost looks like it's in the beginning stages, but it looks like it looks
not more pixelated.
Yeah. Stop it.
Did I get? No, I that wasn't a dig at you.
Oh.
I was actually hoping it was the right word.
You're not. So you're not being sarcastic.
No,
oh, okay.
I'm not being sarcastic. It looked kind of. Am I remembering it correctly? It felt kind of pixelated. It was kind of squared, or at least had that kind of scaled shape. It wasn't smooth like the Predator was, like mirrors.
Well, yeah. It was
definitely it was tiny cameras. Like it was tiny.
Yeah,
cameras.
It was definitely smoother.
Grid work to it.
It was definitely smoother in the 1987 film and the films after that. But yes, it does look like maybe it's not brand new, but it's not as evolved, much like what they're showing with the Predator looking different and all that. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting.
I need to research something about the film while we're talking. So if something happens to my video, please let me know and I'll stop what I'm doing right away.
Okay. So what are you researching?
I don't want to tell you because I don't want to spoil it. I want to see if I'm right in my assumption.
Oh,
that's
okay.
All. Nothing crazy.
So she's hunting with her dog and she sees what she believes. She doesn't know what it is yet. Because obviously, I mean, just think about it. It's 200 years earlier. It would be like us seeing something now that's never been seen before. It's like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, again, like later on, like she's introduced to guns and they don't know what the fuck they are. So that's the kind of technological level that seems alien to her. So a flying ship, yeah, that's almost mythical.
Yeah. So and she's seen it more than once. So her trial her brother, he has his trial to go out into the woods and hunt, and they're going after a tiger or a lion. It's a lion,
Yeah.
and she doesn't do so well, even though her execution is good. She actually doesn't do well. Her brother is the one that kills the lion, brings the lion back to camp, holding its severed head, and is now, considered a warrior and a man, all of that. So she sees that celebration, and they have, they have like a ceremony for him and all that, and she's happy for him, but you could tell that she wants to be there too. So then she wakes up.
Now, one thing I want to point about that is I also thought this scene was handled well, because during the scene when he's declared as like the warrior chief warrior or something like that, you can tell that she's upset, but that it's part jealousy because he's able to do what she doesn't want to do. It's a lot of lack of self-confidence because she feels she failed that mission because he did bring her home. He saved her.
Right.
So we're dealing with a lot of resentment, both familial and cultural, otherwise. But I thought they handled it so well that they don't try to demonize the brother, and they illustrate that there is this conflict. I thought it was handled very well.
It was.
I'm really impressed when films do this shit. If you want to compare anything for this film to the '80s film, is that at least we're capable of making films for adults now.
Yeah, right.
I just feel I'm watching like this film was really made for an adult. They didn't go subtitles, but I feel like this film was made for an adult. We don't have to resort to the fucking '80s mentality where nothing is like real, even though when we try to make it real. So
yeah, no, the film was definitely of higher quality of just about every Predator film that's ever come out. It's on par with the '87 film, if not maybe even artistic, pacing, maybe even a little bit better, to be completely honest.
Oh yeah.
So she wakes up. She wakes up the next morning, and of course, they go in there, they kick her. Just wake up. It's time to go get food, and she decides in that moment that she is going to not do that. She's going to take her dog and she's going to go find out whatever the hell this thing is. And that's going to be her trial to become a warrior. So she, then that's the beginning. That's the real beginning of the film as far as her dealing with the Predator.
But now she's trying to track it or find out what it is.
Yeah, which she does very quickly, and then very quickly realizes that this is a bigger problem than she's bitten off more than she can chew. So she has to obviously figure out a different way to defeat the Predator.
Now, speaking of the Predator, because you mentioned a bit about how different he is and everything.
Yeah.
One thing I like is the way the film illustrates how he does it. And I'm not saying they did it slyly or subtly. Some people may think I'm kind of praising it. It's kind of blatantly obvious. But I didn't really catch it at first. When he kills the snake, I was like, oh, yeah, he killed the snake. Then when he kills the wolf, you're like, okay, yeah, this is kind of fun. But then when you get to the bear, that's when I kind of clicked. I was like, wait a minute, he's fighting each one only with the tools that they have. And then, so if you go back to the snake, when he kills the snake, and he's also following the food chain, which they show by the rat eating the insect, and then the snake eating the rat, and then him killing the snake.
Right.
But if you go back, when he kills the snake, he kills it with two blades, like two fangs. When he goes after the wolf, or coyote, whatever the hell it was.
It was a wolf. It was a wolf.
A wolf. When he goes after the wolf, who's actually hunting something else, so that's how he knows it's a predator that he's after, because he hunts predators, apparently.
Yeah, I think it was going after a rabbit.
So he's going up the food chain. So with that one, at the end, after he gets bitten by the wolf, I have a nice shot of that with the green in the teeth. He flings his blades out, claws, because that's it. With the bear, he fucking wrestles the bear, because that's the bear's thing, his strength. And he's like grabbing him, so he actually fucking wrestles it and rips it like the bear would.
So that's actually a really great observation. I didn't really think of any of that.
Well, I think it becomes where it becomes obvious, even if you missed it with the bear, was where it kind of clicked for me. Is when so the next time when they finally bump into the Indian, and that's why he didn't kill the Cheyenne. I'm trying not to say Indian, the Cheyenne hunter earlier that they found that the lead actress. I'm horrible with names, especially when they're foreign because I'm an asshole. Um, do you have that note in front
Oh,
of you?
her real name or her
the
character name was
Yeah.
Naru.
Naru. Okay. The one that Naru heals that they take back to camp
Yeah.
earlier. That's why the predator didn't kill him yet, because that's not what he was. He didn't want. He was ruling it out. He probably wasn't armed or wasn't like attacking him or anything. So that's why he let him live.
Well, I knew that. I mean, that the predator always did that, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying they made it more evident here because then they show him killing other things, and they take a moment to point it out, so they're obviously pointing it out to tell the audience.
Right,
That's all
right.
I'm saying.
Okay.
Right. So when they finally get to the point where they go after the Indians, God damn it, the Cheyenne hunters. As soon as they shoot him with the bow and arrow, he starts shooting bolts.
Oh.
He only escalates it as far as his opponent does. He's keeping it fair.
Interesting. I didn't actually put that together. I really didn't.
He doesn't bring out the fancy staff until the one guy attacks him with a spear. And he escalates it higher and higher. That's why when it gets to the French Canadians, that's where he pulls out all the stops. Says, "Yeah, now I'm blowing shit up." I mean, he didn't really use explosives per se. I think he used shots at some point, but he definitely stepped up his game once they started firing guns at him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so there's that progression, and so then we get to the kind of Arnold Schwarzenegger thing, but now it's more of it's given us that progression of the Predator. So then when Naru goes after the Predator, she disarms him. She takes away his helmet, and then she slowly takes him down. She literally disarms him.
Oh, yes, she does.
And I rewound that 3 times. Holly and I was like, "Oh, whoa!" What you say? And just the reactions from that Predator were great. My 2 favorite is when he beheads the guy, and the whole tree falls over.
Right.
And he just like looks at it, does the Jason head tilt, and then goes, "Ah!" Kind of like, yeah, that was cool. But then when he cuts his arm off, he just stops and looks at it. He's just like, motherfucker. You can even do like a 2-slide meme. One of him looking at the leg arm, and then one looking at Naru. Is like, what the fuck? It was a great scene. The film really has a dark humor undertone that is never slapstick, and even the one time they referred to the original film, I know you know what it was.
Oh, of course, the quote. If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Right. They played it well enough that it's a nod that did not feel as cheesy. It did not bring the film down one notch towards the 80s level of cheesiness. Nope. It was well placed. And then I even liked, I don't want to step on any toes. You got the whole plot with her hunting the Predator down? You want any highlights?
No, I think I've said my piece.
Okay, well, because obviously what happens is it starts killing the Cheyenne people, and then the French Canadians kidnap Naru
and her brother.
And I didn't have subtitles. So when they first introduced the guy with a cigar, and then there's like conversation, it's like, I know rape's involved in this conversation. There's gotta be.
Oh, absolutely. They didn't say that, but it was like, we could have other uses for her. That was basically what they said.
I think I brought it up. I don't know when I brought it up, but it was definitely when the French Canadians. I think it was afterwards when she goes back again. But I think at one point I turned to her, it's like, no one said rape, but I'm pretty sure we're agreeing that this is a rapey thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the Cajun. I think we all are. Can we say that? Can we say that this is definitely a rape thing, even though no one said rape, as far as I know? Because I definitely think I can say rape at this point.
Yes, and
it's
you
on the table.
And you were correct.
Thank you. All right.
That was definitely. They didn't say it even in the subtitles, but they alluded to it.
Okay. Yeah. So all right.
So.
Yeah, I mean, then like the French Canadian slashing the brother and like gonna go kill the dog later. Says, yeah, yeah, white man. Yep, definitely. I don't see anything wrong with this representation. Keep going. I thought it was interesting they had the one character who spoke Indian as well, so they were able to have that communication, and they made it clear through the dialogue without having to pull a string. They set up the rules and they kind of broke them a bit, but at least you're able to follow it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's when she finds out, which is interesting because it's the first time that you see something like it, because it obviously has never happened in any other films because they introduced it in this, but it's 200 years earlier. There's that plant, that healing plant that she has, and she gives it to the guy, the one that could speak the Cheyenne
multiple languages.
Yeah, she gives it to him, and the predator.
Let me phrase that for you. She smothers it over the stump of his severed leg.
Yeah, and she puts some in his mouth too. And the
that's
predator,
a different thing.
The predator can't. No, it's the same. Well, the medicine for the stump was one thing, but the plant that she gets earlier in the film that she heals people with, she gives it to him, and the predator.
That's the sedative. That's the sedative.
The predator can't see him, because it looks at the infrared basically, and he doesn't come up in there, so it bypasses him. That's when she realizes that is her version of covering herself in mud, like Schwarzenegger did in the first film.
Yes, and what I wanted to bring up is that, so that what it is that herb they give them to people that are ill to numb them so they don't feel any pain, and it slows their blood pressure enough where their body temperature cools down.
Right.
Because of that, because it's like a sedative thing. So that's why she takes it later, and she's still able to walk around because it doesn't really knock you out, but it lowers your body's I guess it obviously makes you feel better.
Yeah.
At the same time, it slows everything down.
I imagine so.
Why did I jump in on that? Because we mentioned that. So yes, the mud. Because I love the fact that they tease the mud when she has that scene where she falls into the quicksand.
Yes.
Mud or whatever. Martian pulls herself out. By the way, I did not know the Cheyenne people were actually the true inventors of the yo-yo. I'm glad we found that out. I'm okay with that. And I'm not making fun of it. That whole axe thing, when she started doing it, I was like, all right, you know what? It's cool. That's cool. I'm okay. I'm going to roll with this, and I'm not going to complain.
You need a leash for your weapon?
Nothing here bothers me. Yeah, leash for your weapon. And I love how that teases that later on she actually uses it as a leash.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, at the final fight. But so that whole mud scene, I'm like, okay, so this is how she finds out. Just like, what I was actually feeling like, yeah, I feel a little played. This is kind of stupid. I was going to give you some of this stuff, and then like it's all like a fuck you. It's all like a cock tease, and then like they cut later, and she's washing herself off. Like, yeah, this isn't fucking Schwarzenegger. Yeah, calm down. We're getting to the meat. Just relax. We're setting stuff up, but not the way you think.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that too when she was in the quicksand. I'm like, are they going to do that? And then they did it, and I was happy.
Now, here's the kind of thing I'm paying attention to these days. I like how the film helps identify what that area is. So if you notice, when she falls into it, that's the only time that we do overhead shots of hers when she's drowning in that thing almost.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So the only other time we do an overhead shot like that is when the predator falls into it. And it's not that long of a shot, but it's long enough that your brain immediately associates it with that scene. So if you don't recognize it and you're not following the scene along, that jars you like, oh, that's your revelation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's that spot because of the camera angle.
Yeah.
That's great storytelling.
It is. And what was interesting when she was waiting for him to go in there, that was also a nod to the 87 film of Schwarzenegger. It's like, come on, do it. Mm-hmm. Come on, do it. It was like, but they didn't have to go that way. I mean, if you're a movie fan, if you just enjoy the first film and you pick up on little subtleties and nuances, to me, I'm like, that's Schwarzenegger covered in mud telling the predator, come on, do it, kill me now. It's like wants him to come in his direction. And that scene was played very similarly.
My favorite nod to the original is actually to the sequel, the flintlock pistol.
Oh, yeah.
Now, here's the deal with that. When they introduced the flintlock pistol and he's telling her how to load it, I immediately said to myself, "This is a reference to the Danny Glover movie," which I still like.
I like that one.
It's even more 80s than the first one.
Well, yeah, it's only out of the 80s by a few months.
But I mean, I'm talking about like the feel, the kind of like just that. It's like we're making a film for children,
Well,
even though it's a horror film. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, but like at the end of that one, obviously everybody knows, and this again was also thought as a reference to. I don't know if the comic book was out at that time. Did I already say it was? I think it was.
You said it was in 90.
Yeah. Again, the comic book. That was another reference to the comic book. And they're like, oh yeah, because now we can go back in time because the comic books do that shit all the time. So when they hand Danny Glover that flintlock, everybody was like, fuck yeah, this is where the series is going, and it never got there. Until now, and I thought that was just a reference, and then I'm watching with Holly, and at the very end of the film, when it comes up again, when she gives it to the chief and tells her we gotta get the fuck out of Dodge because the white man's over the hills and something else is in the skies. I think Holly turns like, is that the actual flintlock? It's like, you know what? I don't know, and I didn't think of looking for it until after I already sent you the slides, and I just looked, and I just brought up the film up now and got to that scene. It is indeed the inscription is the same. Raphael Adolini, 1715.
Wow, that's cool.
So it is a direct reference. So this film is a direct link to Predator 2. So Predator 1 and Predator 2 are part of the continuity of this film. And I'm hopefully they're ignoring all the other ones. although our argument about the skull could bring the Aliens versus Predator ones into play. They probably
and you know what? If we do that,
I'm okay with that.
If we do that, let this fucking guy direct it.
Oh, if they take another shot at it, maybe this time they'll get it fucking right.
Yeah, give this guy the reins. Let him do it.
This gives me hope. And you know what? I didn't shit on the Predators film that just came out. I didn't shit on that. It was made for kids. It's definitely not an adult film.
Oh, you mean The Predator?
The Predator. Sorry,
yeah. I haven't watched it yet.
Dude, it's like it's the A-Team meets Predator. Enjoy it. Don't get fucking tight about it. It's not a bad film. But again, it's not an adult film. It's a family. It's one of those. I grew up with them in the '80s as a kid. Just an adult film that's really meant for kids. And
was that one rated R? Or was that PG-13?
I forget. It might have been. It might have been rated R, and I think everybody was hopeful, but it didn't. It just didn't live up to everybody's expectations. It was, and again, they really hammed it up.
Yeah.
Having what's his name from Key and Peele didn't help. It really made it.
Didn't they make a really bad joke in there? I didn't have to watch it. I heard about it where it's like, get to the chopper, and it's a bunch of motorcycles.
It was really everybody's big complaint was, oh yeah, you turned it into a comedy. It's almost like watching Return of the Living Dead Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
I will use that. I think it's a fair comparison.
Yeah, no, it's rated R.
It's not as severe, but yeah, it's like, yeah, you guys made this for kids. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Directed by Shane Black.
Which one?
The Predator.
Oh, The Predator. That's why everybody had such high hopes. And for me, it's a typical Shane Black film. And I think just some people don't like Shane Black films. And I guess The Predator people really don't like it.
Shane Black movies, you either like them or you don't. I think in some instances you like them or you don't. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is awesome. If someone says they come out of that and they don't like it, then watch it again. Because
let's put it this way: horror fans, even the sci-fi horror crossover, which I guess Predator technically is, are very touchy with other genres interfering in their film. They don't like horror films that become something else. There are certain camps. Certain camps don't like snooty horror films. Certain camps don't like torture porn. Certain camps don't like horror films. It's just like you're always going to find an audience that shits on it because of a certain aspect of it. Yeah. So and to a certain extent, I kind of understand what they're saying, and I don't disagree.
Okay, all right.
That's all. I went too long on that, but
that's okay.
But the flintlock pistol. Same one. It's like, fuck, this movie just nails
that's
everything.
Awesome. I was actually reading that that the director of this film has ideas for other movies and they're not present day. So I like that. I like that.
You know what they can do? They can help everybody forget Cowboys versus Aliens and make a fucking Predator Western and just forget that one ever happened.
Sure.
Just with the Cowboys versus what? No idea. You're talking. You're obviously referring to the Predator Cowboy film that just came out.
Yeah, obviously.
That's how we saved the nation.
All right. We're running long, so why don't we go ahead and end the show? We could talk about.
I think I covered everything I wanted to. I didn't make notes because I'm an idiot and I'm still catching up, getting up to speed. But I
wasn't gonna make notes. I am just too tired for that now.
We got to end it where I usually would start it, because the first thing I like to do is talk about the title of the film and whether or not it's a good or bad title.
Oh, okay.
What's your feeling about the title of the film, Prey?
I'm good with it. I mean, it really describes what the predator is doing. It's hunting, so that's what a predator does.
I might blow your mind because Holly kind of blew mine.
All right, I'm ready for it.
I was okay with the title Prey to begin with, because just the same thing you said. So Holly's the one that turns to me at the very. I think when she's carrying the predator head to the town, or when the chief. She made a very probably considerably racist joke at the end, where she's when she came up and the mother kind of nudges the chief's like, yeah, that's the new chief warrior. You better give her the flag. And he practically rolled his eyes. Well,
I called it, by the way, when we were watching it, but I leaned over to Mare and I'm like, how is she going to carry like a 400-pound predator on her back holding its head like her brother did with the lion? And I'm like, they're probably not going to do that. But I was like, maybe they'll do it in some way, like it'll be a chunk of it or something.
I think the head works.
The head worked fine, because even if it was a man, there's no way they're carrying a predator on its back. It's just too big, too heavy.
Quick side tangent. I find it interesting. So what happened was when the brother came in with the tiger and the head, I was like, I don't think he killed the tiger or lion. Sorry, I don't think he killed the lion. I think it was the predator. He just pretended to. And I was like, all right, I don't think that's where they're going with the character, so I'm probably wrong. But it was 100%. I knew I was 100% wrong when they showed him he melted the head to get the skull.
Oh, right.
And I was like, yeah, if he had done that, he'd be making. The only reason he would do that was to make the skull, so he wouldn't have left the head. So I knew I was wrong. So I thought that was cool that I got that wrong. But so at the end, when she bring in the predator head, and Holly says, "Oh yeah," because now he's the prey. I was like, holy fuck, how come I didn't see that at the very beginning? Not only is it important that it's Prey, but with the Predator title, it's because this is the first film where the Predator is actually the prey. So the title of the film is Prey because that's what the Predator is. And that's why it's I don't know why. Maybe I'm just in a good mood today. But when I saw that, it just blew my mind. When she said,
"Well," and you know what, too? It works both ways, because the film starts off with everything, including her being the prey, and then it turns it up on its end for the predator becoming the prey. Wow, that really works.
Yeah, I mean, and it works on it works as it doesn't give away the ending, because it already implies something just from the very basic concept of the film. It's the predator. Okay, now we're going to say prey because it hunts things, like you just said. But it's just realizing that they did that. For me, that's so deep. I love it. And we had a brief argument, my wife and I, because at the end when she gives him the flintlock pistol and says, "We have to go. There's trouble coming from the east or north, south, whatever."
Right.
And then at the end, during the credits, they have the murals that depicting the whole movie, like the cave wall paintings.
Oh, right.
Not cave wall, whatever.
You
know what I mean?
It's cave paintings.
Indigenous artwork.
Sure.
From that time period. Okay, I'm trying to say the right words.
Okay.
And at the end of that whole thing, there's the thing where they show the ending of the film, but then it pulls back and it shows more predator ships coming down.
Wait, was it like an after credit?
It was at the end of the credits. You didn't fast forward through that whole cartoon segment?
No, I didn't.
Foolish man. No, so at the whole end.
I should have expected it because it's fucking Disney. So
yeah, again, each picture is like a part of the film. It shows like the predator holding the bear up with the blood dripping over him. Oh my god, was that fucking awesome or what?
It was cool.
Oh man, this film has had great kills. I can't wait to see it on Dead Meat when they finally get around and do to it. James A. Janice, if you don't watch the show, please do. We get no cut back at all from that, and he's getting paid to do commercials, so he doesn't need my fucking Patreon money. I'm sorry, I'm like that. But I'll plug the show. The bear. Oh yeah, so at the end of the whole thing, it shows the end where she walks up and she has the head and the staff, and now she's the chief warrior. But then it pulls back, and then the sky turns dark, and 3 predator ships come out, and like it all like has that picture, and then it goes to black.
Oh.
Yeah. So Holly thinks that that's what she meant when she gave the flintlock pistol to this chief and said, "We gotta fucking get out of town." I disagree. I feel she meant white man, because the film really, and we had this debate through it. She said,
I don't think there's any real indication that she thinks more of these are coming. I think she does think that it is the white man.
It can be taken both ways, and I'm cool with it being taken both ways. And if she did, even if she didn't mean it both ways, it meant both ways.
Okay.
But I got to touch on this briefly. Shit, I know we're going long, but the whole thing, we kept debating back and forth about, because she kept saying, so we met the French Canadians and saw how lovely they were. So she's like, so they're just as bad as, she actually did this before when she finds the field of skinned buffalo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And immediately I'm like, white men are in town. Well, obviously when she found the bear trap or cat, whatever. But that's when Holly said, see, they're just as bad as the Predator, or he's just like them. I was like, no. The white man is far worse than the Predator. Yeah. And we kept going back and forth about this. And finally I got to I figured out how to explain it properly. What I meant is like, listen, it's even more than the fact that they skinned the animals and like left everything else to rot and just wasted them just for monetary purposes. Because I was saying, hey, but the Predator doesn't hunt for monetary reasons. She's like, yeah, but he still kills things for sport. It's like, yeah, but he's more fair about it, because then we were talking about the whole thing with the food chain where he's only using the tools. She's like, yeah, but he's still killing people. He's still as bad as the white man. And then I finally figured out what the difference was I was trying to point out. It says, and what was it? Shit, did I just forget it? I got so excited about it. Fuck.
Oh.
What was my point?
We're all on a cliffhanger, dude.
Oh shit! I forgot my point. It's the white man is so much worse than the Predator on this, because, like they pointed out clearly when Naru steps into the bear trap or whatever trap it is, whatever animal's meant for, and he finds her and like holds the chain. Is like, I don't fucking hunt chained animals. And they come up to the whole thing later. So yeah, he doesn't hunt for. He doesn't go after. He doesn't go for bait. He's not that kind of animal. He hunts. He's a hunter. and it's like, so he at least has that morality where he does, when he's hunting, he doesn't like take a step higher. He puts himself at risk. Well, when he wrestles the fucking bear, he does not take the higher ground. Unless he needs to. He's got a moral thing there. The white man's got no such fucking thing. It's all monetary, and it's all greed, and it's all rape. We all agreed about the rape, right?
Of course.
Yeah, we agree about the rape.
Yep.
And they're just laying waste. Like, again, the whole third of this film, and people are going to complain, and I agree. The film is dark in certain periods, and it's really hard to watch the films that are dark. They do a lot of stuff at night, and then when they have the whole burned forest sequence, it's harder to see things. CGI animals aren't realistic enough to actually like gloat like they used to in the old days. Like, see, look at the light on them. So no, they look like shit. So at least they try to cover it up a bit now, and I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to give any shit. But that whole thing with the ash, when the Predator stops and smells the ash, what the fuck is going on here? This is are they burning the forests? Even the Predator's kind of like, yeah, what the fuck's up? Is it snow? Holly, that's the first thing Holly said. Is it snowing? I said, I don't think so. They're not breathing cold. The French Canadians are laying waste to the fucking hillside. They're burning the fucking forests.
Yeah.
And I didn't look it up, but I'm very comfortably I very comfortably
confident.
believe that is historically accurate.
I don't. Yes. And you know what? My wife's a history major. She did not. She also thought that it was accurate.
Good. And she definitely knows more about French Canadian trappers than I do. But I have no problem believing that as historically accurate. And you have to prove it to me otherwise before I disbelieve it, because it's really fucking on the nose. But all that illustrates how bad the white man is.
The white man.
A fucking evil. Yeah, so it wasn't just like, oh, he's the same level. No, because the predator they're not exploiting the weak. He's not going after like small things for fun. He's challenging himself. He's trying to find that ultimate prey. He's going up. These fuckers are they're killing dogs and raping women. Again, we agreed on the rape, right?
Yes.
Okay, right. So that's my point. It's like the whole morality thing. They really do go out of their way subtly, but also on the nose, that the white man is fucking worse than the alien from space that's hunting humans.
The white man is worse. There's no doubt about it. All right.
I liked it. Yeah.
I really love this movie. I liked it a lot. So let's rate it. Mm-hmm. It's currently a 7.2 on IMDb, which I would give this an 8. But I could see a 7 because it is a Predator film. But this is the best Predator film since the 1987 movie.
I will say
that is 35 years ago. It took 35 years to make another good Predator film, a really high quality one.
This is not a judgment on what films you like, what films you enjoy, what films you grow up on. I'm just going to say flat out, and I do not feel any fear of saying this, this film is the best Predator film that has been made. Hands down.
Yeah. Well, I said it before. I said, this is definitely the best one since the 87 film, and then I went further in my statement saying it's probably better than the 87 film.
It is hands down better than the 80s one. No matter how much you like the 80s one, you have to admit it's not a good film. It's a fun film.
It's a fun film.
There's a difference.
This film, I wouldn't be surprised if the Oscars notices things for this, such as like cinematography and sound, and it's going to get all technical stuff that if it gets nominated. But
it's a Netflix film, right?
I think what's that?
That's a Netflix film, right?
Hulu. It did go it did go theatrical. I think it did hit a few theaters.
They're actually funding producing these films now. Was that one of theirs or no?
No, not Universal. 20th Century 20th Century Pictures. Is the production company.
All right, that's what I was double checking.
Yeah, so it's all owned by Disney. 20th Century, so
yeah, it's fucking Disney. Never mind. Yeah, so that's definitely up for an Oscar of some kind.
So I think I'm confident that the Oscars will recognize it in some way.
I would be willing to defend this film on any critical merit anybody had if somebody wanted to say that this film is shit. I would be willing to really go in. I would really dig my heels in to defend this film. I really think that's how well their attempt to be historically accurate. I think on the level, at least as far as being respectful to the Cheyenne people, fucking on the nose. The storyline's great. The story, how they tell storytelling, again, just my camera angles will get discussed. Fucking hands down, no lower than an 8.
Yep, I agree. I would go with an 8 on this. All right, losing steam here.
Sorry we ran long. That's my fault.
It's okay. Oh my God! What? Yes.
I paused Predator 2. I had to turn that off.
Could you hear the music in the beginning? Could you hear
Nothing.
it? You couldn't hear it.
Nope.
It's interesting.
Not worried about it as long as we're recording.
No. It's fine because when I did my tests earlier, I could hear the music. So I was like, ooh, Scott could hear stuff. But whatever. Let's go ahead and end the show.
Sure.
Let's do that. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. As usual, go to our website at Moviesucktastic.com. And that's loud. Yeah, let's fix that. Go to our website at Moviesucktastic.com. Visit us on Facebook.com/Moviesucktastic. You can go to our iTunes section. and you can download the show there. You can download the show and listen to it on the website. You can leave us voicemail at 908-514-4470. You can also... I remember some of the shit I used to say. You can leave us email at themovieguys@moviesucktastic.com. And you can also go to our website and you can fill out requests and things like that. Go to our YouTube page. If you're watching live, awesome, thank you. We're live every Thursday. We're doing this again. We took a hiatus because we had to. But yeah, so this week we reviewed...
Strictly for mental health reasons.
Yeah, we reviewed Prey. We hope you enjoyed it. And do you have any words of wisdom, Mr. Wilson?
Oh shit, I wasn't ready for that. That's how long this has been.
Yeah. Come on, man. I've been doing that since almost the beginning. I've been asking you for words of wisdom.
I started compiling. I gotta finish that. Compiling a whole montage of just those. But let me just say this: if it can bleeds, we can kill it.
That's right. All right, everybody. We'll talk to you next week. Bye bye.